Africa, a continent blessed with abundant natural resources, from vast arable land, pristine waters, forests, and diverse wildlife. Yet, beneath its surface lies a pressing truth. The continent is confronted with profound environmental challenges that demand our attention. Land degradation, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and the relentless impact of climate change threaten the very essence of this beautiful land. For far too long, the idea of safeguarding Africa's natural treasures was often viewed as a foreign concept, detached from the lives of its people, and mostly male-dominated. But today, the tides are shifting as a new wave emerges from within the heart of the continent, a force led by women united to protect their homeland. From the highest echelons of power to the humblest grassroots, these game changers are rewriting the narrative of conservation. Let us begin our journey in Kenya, where we meet Emily Wanja, a visionary leader at the helm of the Climate Story Lab.
Welcome, welcome to Climate Story Lab, Africa.
Here, women leaders take center stage, sharing their experiences, knowledge, and solutions to address the pressing challenges of our changing climate.
Even the animals get worried when there's no rain, as it's hard to find food.
We've heard like the kind of synergies that are coming across, using the film as a tool, demystifying the climate language, trying to reach the children where they are at.
Climate change manifests in all spheres, talking about civil society, policymakers, we're talking about creatives, we're talking about journalists, farmers, community mobilizers and organizers, students. We all need to start having a very honest conversation with ourselves.
Every person here, do your bit. Let us remember our climate change material. If you go to New York, you go to Washington, D.C., you'll see books about Wangari Maathai.
Women are not always given that opportunity, the platform or the agency to articulate their leadership role as far as climate is concerned. In fact, climate has amazing ways of disproportionately affecting women.
When you look at emissions, the Western world are the biggest contributors to emission, yet the African countries or the developing countries are the ones who suffer the most, and especially our communities. That the West need to be held accountable, and they need to be the ones to really work on reducing their emissions so that we don't suffer for things that we haven't done as a continent, and our communities don't suffer as well.
As media makers, we have a responsibility to create this kind of platforms that give agency to our communities. But we also have to move from talking to action.
Burning the green away. Oh, swamp.
Traveling farther, we arrive in Kilifi, where a grassroots mangrove conservation group is making significant strides under the leadership of women. These fearless individuals recognize the crucial role mangroves play in protecting coastal communities, and through their efforts, they ensure a sustainable future for generations to come.
hii miti yote ilikuwa imekatwa, imebakishwa tu midogo. Ndio tukaamua kwa vile ambapo tulikuwa tumeona jangwa kabisa linaingia, ndio tukaona ni heri tujiunge kuirudisha hii miti ili tukaweze kurudisha mvua.
Mazingira ni muhimu weka kwa wanyama pori na twe.
Tuliweza kuweka nasari na pia kupanda, kwa sababu samaki wetu tuliona bila kupata hewa safi kutoka kwa hii miti hatuwezi kupata mavuno mazuri. Sehemu yetu ambayo tunailinda na kuitunza na kuihifadhi, tuko na eka zimezidi 60,000 ambao tuna uhuru nayo, kama ni kufuga nyuki na pia kuendeleza kufuga samaki na pia kuendelea kupanda miche ya mikoko. Huwa tuna mashirika tofauti ambayo huwa yanatutembelea, ambao ni Kenya Maritime na pia Kenya Forest Service, kwa ajili ya kuweza kununua kiasi kidogo cha miche na kuweza kupanda sote.
In the historic Lamu County of Kenya, we meet Dama, a conservation activist in her community. In a space traditionally devoid of women's voices, Dama has fearlessly stepped forward, advocating for the preservation of nature and inspiring others to join her worthy mission.
Yenyewe mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa naishi sijui plastiki nifanye vipi, lakini nilipojua maana yake, sasa siwezi acha chupa pale ama kibakuli hata kama imevunjika ama gunia pengine sihitaji tena niache pale. Nabeba naleta hapa, nikileta hapa nawaambia wanawake wenzangu tuna sort, then tunaendelea na kazi. Maremsu waambie hao. Nafundisha wamama wenzangu kuchagua, ya kusaga, ya kuosha. Mmepima? Wanawake wote ni kulea tunalea, so imetusaidia kiasi ya kuwa kuna watoto wanaenda shule, kuna kula, kuna nguo, so tunaona manufaa kwetu sisi wanawake.
4x3 plastic profile. Kwa jina watu tunaita lumba. Ile jina ya kitaalamu. Hizo ndio sababu zangu.
Si pia tulikuwa hatujui wamama tupeleke watoto wetu shuleni wapi.
What's your name?
Skuli tulijenga na hizo bottles za glass.
Hassan.
Sasa hivi wako hapo wanasoma.
As we transition to Nigeria, we meet Donyisola, who continues with an important conservation initiative.
So this is our recycling bag, and people from the community bring their recyclables here. And because this is a coastal community, all this would have been in the ocean.
Recognizing the importance of children's involvement in tackling climate change, she empowers the youth to become stewards of the environment and champions of sustainability.
Adamu is my handy guy. He makes sure that these jars are collected. We collect all these jars and then we use it for water propagation. So a few days ago, we propagated in water these guys here. They're called the Mexican petunias, and we're going to take them to the beach to plant it in. I started in 2009. At the time, I think I was about 22, and I saw that the environment was really dirty. And when I started to talk to the adults, nobody took me very seriously. I was also very young at the time. So I started speaking with young children, and it was fun. They found fun in what I was doing, and that's how it all started. So now let's check if our wetting was done properly. Please, can I have gloves? What inspired me to do this was the fact that we did not really have, in fact, we had nothing like this in Nigeria, and we have arable rice. So I was inspired to start something for nature and also for children. Up, up. People come to the beach more because it's now safe for people to come. Less than 5 minutes. Look at all the plastic we're getting out. Before it wasn't like that. Before people didn't even want to come to the beach for any reason whatsoever. But now things have changed, and I'm happy about that.
In Tanzania, we encounter Laurentia, a passionate protector of birds.
That is an African harrier oak. They call it a gymnogen. Why gymnogen? Because it has this ability to bend its, bending, twisting its bones. It can climb the tree just using its feet.
With unwavering dedication, she safeguards the diverse avian species that grace the skies of this beautiful land, reminding us of the interconnectedness between all living beings.
Najua kuna ndege uliwahi kuona ukiwa kijana, ukiwa mtoto, sasa hivi hawaonekani. Ni kwa sababu gani? Sisi wenyewe ndio tunawasababishia nini? Wanapotea. Lakini pia hatujui kwamba huyo ndege kupotea alikuwa anakula nini? Alikuwa anaondoa kitu gani? Je, alikuwa anakula nyoka sana, alikuwa anakula panya sana? Kwa kumbe tunapowaondoa hawa ndege bila kufahamu kwamba wana umuhimu gani kwetu, tunakuja kuathirika ni sisi wenyewe. Ndege hawa wapo wale ambao wanaishi hapa Tanzania, lakini wapo ndege wanaotoka bara la Ulaya kabisa huko. It's hard to change the attitudes of people. They have been hunting since they were young, from generations and generations. It's not easy to just come and tell them that you don't have to hunt these birds, which they have seen them as food for a very long time. And getting them to change that attitude, it will need a long time, but also very passionate people and committed people are needed.
Lakini pia hatukuwa tunajua kwamba ndege hawa kumbe wanatoka hata maeneo ya mbali.
Mbali sana.
Kwa hiyo hicho tulikuwa elimu hiyo bado.
Habari jamani marhaba. Njoo. Na kuonesha kitu. Shikilia mwenyewe sasa, shikilia kwa nguvu, shikilia hapa. Kwa nguvu kabisa, angalia. Zungusha uangalie ndege unakoona wale kule. I teach the local community about birds conservation and the importance of having birds in the ecosystem and why do we need to protect them. One of the objectives is to raise awareness. Another objective is to provide income-generating activities such as beekeeping, because these people hunt birds for them to get food, source of protein, but also to sell. They can't just stop by just getting the education. They need a different kind of income activity that they can concentrate on doing and gain the income they need to support their families. Then that way they can stop killing the birds.
Sawa sawa. Sasa hivyo wanyama wale tunawafukuza, kuna chakula unachokula mli.
Kuna chakula chao wewe mnakiharibu.
Kama tunapata bomba, hatutawafukuza wale wanyama.
Sawa sawa. We teach them so that they can gain a different interest about birds. Not just seeing them as food, but seeing them as beautiful creatures, amazing animals that have a lot of impact into the ecosystem.
Continuing our journey, we encounter Rosette, widely regarded as the esteemed mother of conservation in Rwanda.
No kubungabunga icyo kintu ntitukakibagirwe kandi siningagi gusa ahubwo ni shyamba ni pariki
Rosette's unwavering commitment has paved the way for sustainable tourism and inspired a generation to embrace conservation as a path to economic growth and environmental harmony.
Rwanda wasn't just called the land of 1,000 hills for nothing. Like here where we are, the volcanoes, you've got the mountain gorillas, the rare species left in the world. We are just so blessed to be the custodian of these gorillas, but they belong to the world. And there are very few left in the world. So it's a huge responsibility that we have. Mwibuke kandi yuko iyi park kera muri iyi park niyo ya mbere muri Afrika yitwa park y'ibirunga ari iri kumwe no muri Congo no muri DRC. My work in conservation dates back from the time I was head of tourism and national parks in Rwanda. What I really want to remember so much in my 7 years was the essence of introducing the role of the community in conservation. Everyone has got to be a stakeholder, that you've got to be very, very inclusive. A lot of the people involved in conservation and the environment are men, and we felt that we needed women as well. So we've got 20 women that we are mentoring that are being trained to be leaders. So if we really want our children to live in a better world, and their children and generations, it's got to start now.
In just 30 years, Kenya has lost nearly 70% of its wildlife. The Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Association aims to reverse this by empowering communities to sustainably preserve Kenya's natural treasures and manage the country's iconic wildlife that is found outside state-protected areas. In partnership with USAID, KWCA takes a collective of 28 women to attend the Africa Protected Areas Congress in Kigali, Rwanda. The first ever continent-wide gathering of African leaders and citizens to discuss the role of protected areas in conservation and sustainable development while conserving Africa's cultural heritage and traditions.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'm delighted to say we've just been joined by the African Council.
We all know that wild animals like buffaloes, elephants, sometimes they are aggressive, especially when they are mating. So they thought we women will not make it on that field. For me, meeting with wildlife and get learning the behaviors of wildlife, and also get knowing that if I cut down this tree, maybe tomorrow I will not get a shed maybe to tie the young ones of the goats under. So women have that indigenous knowledge that when they are given a chance to bring it into action in conservation, this field of conservation will go far.
One of the women who emerges as a leader from this experience is Tabitha. Her remarkable achievements lead her to be celebrated as the first woman to become an honorary senior warden in her conservancy, symbolizing the immense strides being made by African women in the conservation field.
A female ranger! Scoot turn! Standard is. Stand easy. Habari ya saizi. There is a kazi tunaenda kufanya kiwanjani ya destroy the carcasses. Tunawaka as a team. Tuende tufanye hiyo kazi. Sawa sawa. Yes, madam.
I was selected to go to Rwanda, Kigali, the APAC conference.
Scoot turn. Turn to your right and salute. Dismiss.
Walikuwa naangalia the rights of the rangers. after I came, at least I shared with the rangers, at least wameelewa, we have our own rights, we have the limits, hapa tunaweza fika, hapa tuwezi fika.
Indrebe, yake, personal, yani bay, vedi kore modo gumkuru.
In Kasagao Ranch Wildlife Conservancy, we have 52,000 acres. The rangers, they do food patrol, tracking of poachers, arrests, they normally do arrests, awarenesses in the community on the human-wildlife conflict.
Hii ni teamwork. Kuna mambo ya wanawake wala wanaume. Mwenye utabaki kwa sentry unafaa ufanye hizo shughuli zote kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni. Mimi niko nakotia mkako ita kuniji wala Kongo. Ama for instance nataka kusaidiwa ama nimekuomba tu unisaidie. Because you are a man, you always nisaidia. Tukifundishwa mambo ya breaking the biasness. Hakuna kazi ya mwanamke, hakuna kazi ya mwanaume jikoni wala wapi. Ile siku bibi yako amelala mgonjwa utafanya. Alafu nimekuomba tu.
I feel good kwa sababu the management itself and the trainers waliona hapa there is a leader. So I feel good because I just empower others like female rangers wenye tuko na wao, at least na wao pia wakuwe viongozi.
Africa, with its abundant resources and resilient spirit, stands poised to lead the way towards a sustainable future. All these remarkable women and countless others across the continent exemplify the power of unity. Let us join hands in preserving our precious ecosystems and ensuring a planet that thrives for all. For when we come together as guardians of the earth, we can create a legacy of hope and harmony that will endure for generations to come.